guys, me again. This is my review for Raw 22nd of January 2012. Of course, it's from Memphis, Tennessee, which is also the home of Jerry Lawler, so big up that. Show started with John Cena coming out, which is very original nowadays. He basically came out and said Happy New Year to everyone, as he does, because him being, the face of the company, basically said how he's gonna, he announced his New Year's resolution. Some of them really disturbed me, like his first one, which was the fact that he was going to wear less underwear, which you'd think would be a priority when you're wrestling someone, but apparently not. That his dad is now officially banned from TV after the episode of This Is Your Life with Mick Foley a couple of weeks ago, and how he's going to win WrestleMania 28 against The Rock and prove to The Rock that he has in fact lost his lady parts. Kane came out, his music hit. He basically said as like an over voice that Cena needs to embrace the hate and that he will embrace the hate by the end of the night. And that's the beginning of the show. Music cuts out, John Cena goes. It's then the End Begins promo, the 2012, the dude that was returning tonight. I won't let rip of it until we'll see when it happens in the show. If you don't want to know, I suggest you pause it now. Basically just black and white swing set, boy and a girl with some really deranged looks at the camera. At the end, black screen, white writing. The end begins tonight. And that was that. It then went on to Daniel Bryan versus Cody Rhodes. Good luck to Daniel Bryan on Friday against Big Show with a title match, and of course good luck to Cody against Booker T, because I don't really want Booker T to start wrestling again, but hey. It was a pretty good match. They're two quite great wrestlers, so they always put on a good show. It ended by Cody Rhodes getting Bryan up for a suplex, him countering and Bryan getting the roll through. So he got the 1-2-3 over Cody, but I think that they could have had a better ending, maybe with someone's finisher, because obviously they're two great athletics. They're both very athletic, and they've kind of just gave them a cheap ending, but anyway. It then went on to Miz and R-Truth promo with John Laurinaitis. Miz was basically saying to John how John needs to do something about the fact that R-Truth attacked Miz last week, which, it's his opinion. John was basically saying, yeah, I don't agree with what he done, but it is kind of your fault for attacking him, which is true. Miz walks off in a huff. John Laurinaitis makes the Miz versus Sheamus match for later on in the night. R-Truth comes up behind Miz after he's walked off into the distance and starts taking the mickey out of the Miz, which is always fun. Then went on to a Royal Rumble promo, which I've noticed they've started. It's basically just a review of an old match. This one was the Royal Rumble in 1988, which of course had Hacksaw Jim Duggan as the winner, so congrats to him. Next up, it was Wade Barrett versus Santino Marella, which was of course a massive squash match. Poor Santino. He basically said, Wade came out with his microphone, obviously said how 2012 is obviously a brilliant year because Randy Orton isn't there, and it's all thanks to Wade Barrett. We got an update on Randy Orton's injury. If none of you saw, he got pushed down a flight of stairs in a street fight against Wade Barrett the other week on SmackDown. It's a great match, you should watch it. Apparently he suffered a herniated disc on the left side, resulting in pain and weakness. I am not a doctor, I don't know how serious that is, but it sounds fairly painful. So good luck to Randy, and hope he gets better soon. Wade Barrett basically says how he's going to win the Royal Rumble, and then of course Santino comes out, says how Santino is better than Wade Barrett when it comes to Royal Rumble matches, and how Santino's choo-choo train is better than the Barrett Barrage, which I really hate Santino's gimmick. I'm sorry, that's just me. Match, love Wade's curly hair. Wade has new trunks, which I love as well. Of course, Wade Barrett wins by a side slam. I think Santino got about 5 hits in, if that. So not a great match. It then went on to the Miz and the Bella Twins promo. which is basically Bella's taking the mick out of Miz and R-Truth, Miz walking off, and Truth coming behind Miz and carrying on this whole stalker thing that he's doing. And then went on to Sheamus versus Miz. Miz comes out, he's looking over his shoulder, immediately starts pummeling on Sheamus, so the match hasn't even started yet. Ties Sheamus up in the ropes. Sheamus gets out, does the hand grenade thing on Miz, totally awesome. Miz then runs off into the crowd and sees R-Truth, so he goes running back the other way. The minute he gets over the barricade, gets hit with the bro kick from Sheamus. I don't even think there was a match, I don't recall the bell going, but still. R-Truth then comes out, hits Miz with the water bottle, says that this is going to be part of the Miz weekly beatdown. So hopefully we'll see more of Miz getting beat up next week. Now, if you saw last Monday, CM Punk ran the gauntlet match against Jack Swagger, Dolph Ziggler, and Mark Henry. If he won all three of them, then he would have got a match with John Laurinaitis at the end of the episode. Of course, if he lost one of them, whoever he lost to would then get a WWE title match this Monday, just gone. And if you haven't seen it, I suggest you watch it, it's pretty good. Dolph won. I don't really think he should have, because it was thanks to John that he won, but hey. Dolph Ziggler does an interview with Josh Matthews, basically says how he's the best at what he does. He's got great athleticism, great charisma, he's a show off, he's perfection. Great gimmick for him. I really think he works that absolutely brilliantly. Then goes on to a Zack Ryder and Eve Torres promo with Jack Swagger making an appearance. Zack makes some lame jokes about the names, it's pretty mediocre. John Laurinaitis comes in, makes a Jack Swagger, Mark Henry and Kane versus Zack Ryder, Big Show and John Cena in a 6-man tag team elimination match, which is the main event, I'm guessing. It then goes on to Punk versus Ziggler, which, you know, I love Punk's entrance, and Ziggler's music kind of reminds me of High School Musical. I don't know if that's just me or if that's what they're going for, but Ziggler kind of made up for it with his new trunks. They're all shiny and I like them. It's a pretty good match. I didn't really get into it that much. I don't know if that was me or something was just off. The crowd seemed to get into it, so I think it was just me. But there was one bit that caught my attention. I think Dolph was going for some kind of face plant onto the mat, like suplex type thing, and Punk falls on the middle rope face first, and that looked like it hurt, and it didn't look like it was planned. He seemed to be holding his nose a lot. The commentators are saying maybe he's broken it or something, but yeah, John Laurinaitis comes out and plays with the turnbuckle, which apparently Punk took off. Missed that. The ref is distracted. Punk's got Ziggler in the Anaconda Vice. He's tapping out like there's no tomorrow, but the ref never sees. Punk throws Ziggler into John Laurinaitis, who's still on the ring apron. Ziggler then clotheslines Punk out of the ring, and John Laurinaitis holds the rope down. So it's all basically John's fault. I'm quite happy to give John Laurinaitis the blame for that. But Punk was out of it. He lost by count out. So of course the title didn't change hands, but a lot of people thought it did because Ziggler kind of stole the title and ran around with it for about 10 minutes. But Punk is still champion, thank God. It then goes on to another 2012 It Begins promo. It's basically the same as the other one. It says black screen at the end, white writing, he is here. Then there's another Royal Rumble promo, which is the 1995 match. Looked like a pretty good match from what I saw of it. First draw is HBK. He lasted until the very end, God bless him. Went against the British Bulldog and won, so well done HBK, still a big fan of his. It's then the Divas match, which was a very long match, which I'm very pleased about because they don't get as much praise as they deserve. The Bella Twins versus Eve Torres and Kelly Kelly. Kelly Kelly's new ring attire, she's got kind of leg warmer type things that I love. Match started with Kelly and Brie, lots of slaps. I think Kelly's main move is the kind of stink face in the corner of the ring with her bum in the other chick's face. I think that is her main move, and for that to happen within 30 seconds of the bell going, I think they gave that away way too early. They could have saved that until the end. They both then got the tag, so it was Nikki Bella and Eve. Eve got her moonsault from the top rope, so go Eve, that was an amazing move. Of course, they then do twin magic, so it is now Brie in the ring with Eve, and Brie gets the pin via a roll-up. Could have been a better ending, but considering what the Divas are used to working with, that was a pretty good match. Then goes on to Punk and John Laurinaitis promo. They make the match for Royal Rumble, which is going to be Punk versus Dolph Ziggler with John Laurinaitis as the special guest referee. That's shaping up to be a pretty good match. 2012 promo. This had a lot more speech to it. They they basically said that the woman that they're talking about holds the mystery of his arrival. She'll come whenever she's called, type thing. Then the lights go out in the arena. You see a dude in like blue jacket with lights on it, kind of stood in a star. And then of course you hear the music that goes Break the Walls Down. And of course, yes, it was Chris Jericho. Loved Chris Jericho. So glad he came back when he did. We really needed a fresh face. Yeah, he came back, basically done 10 minutes of crowd pleasing, then walked out. He basically just wooed the crowd until they started booing him, which I think is really brilliant crowd control. But we were all booing him by the end of his little thing. So I don't know if that's what they were going for, or if he just went a bit crazy with it, but whatever he did, he done it well. Then came on to the tag team match. After everyone's made their entrance, well, nearly everyone, David Otunga comes out and says that Kane refuses to take part in this match. So it's now a handicap match. I'm just going to cut to the chase on this one because it was really short anyway. Big Show and Mark Henry eliminated each other via count out. Cena then eliminates Jack Swagger. Kane then comes out after Cena's got the win and his music's playing. Kane comes out. Cena runs up the ramp to try and find him. Kane comes up from the ring, starts beating on Zack Ryder. John turns around, starts trying to beat Kane. Kane tries to suffocate Cena. Again, don't really know what the Divas were that. Tries to suffocate Cena. Cena's out of it. Kane tries to drag Zack Ryder back down the hole in the ring that he came from. John Cena comes around just at the right time to save the day. Super Cena, of course he does. And then, obviously, Kane rolls down under the ring, and Cena and Zack are kind of sat there going, what just happened? The fire explodes from the ring, and that is the end of the show. It was a good show. I don't think I'll remember it in a week's time, but it was pretty good. So yeah, this is my first review. I hope I didn't go over time on the camcorder, but still. Yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll see me next week.